Was this at, didn't they have one at Hoffa?
No, it was here in the Holy Land Hotel.
They had something like
Yeah, I'll tell you all
This is
about it.
All right, I'll let you
full
do it.
model
I won't
of
interrupt.
Jerusalem in the time of
You can
Jesus.
interrupt anytime you want.
Now, first of all, that is the Fortress of Antonia with the 4 towers.
Incredible.
You can see there are gates coming into the temple. Grab them and take them.
It's the temple.
This is the golden gate.
Okay. Okay, guys.
That's
Can you
incredible.
all hear me?
Yeah.
Now, to
The Israel
understand,
Museum.
these people, this group, is now standing on the Mount of Olives, looking down. Remember, we were standing on the Mount of Olives, and we saw the Temple Mount, where the temple stands in the middle. That's where the Golden Dome is. Now, one thing, to understand everything here, this wall, the outer wall, did not exist when Jesus and Herod were alive. In fact, when Jesus was alive, because when Jesus was born, that was the year Herod died. So this wall was added to Jerusalem 41 years after the death of Jesus by Herod's grandson, Herod Agrippa. So in other words, when everything we talk and mention about the Via Dolorosa, we have to ignore this. Now, come along here. Remember what I told you the other day? This is the Fortress Antonia and the pools of Bethesda. These are the pools, and this little gate is the ship gate, because only the inner gate existed here. The inner wall, sorry. Yeah? Now today you will have the Church of St. Anne right now. In our days, the Turkish wall comes down here and goes south, and right here in the corner we would have St. Stephen's Gate or the Lion's Gate. This is the Kidron Valley. Okay? Now, we are looking at the platform. That's the eastern wall, the northern wall, and the Temple Mount, right? Now on the Temple Mount, we have the east gate, right here. In fact, just to give you an idea, right here, down below here, you would have the Garden of Gethsemane. All here, again, that's the Palm Sunday route running down from the Mount of Olives.
It's the East Gate.
Right? So we have here the East Gate. Inside, again, the big court is the court of the Gentiles, where Jews and non-Jews were permitted to be in. Only Jewish people were permitted into the inner court. The Jews are divided into 4 groups: Israel, Levites, priests, the Kohanim, and women. So the first court, the inner court, is the women's court. Then you have the Levites on one side, the priests on the other side. In between the women's court and the entrance to the Holy of Holies.
So my wife, I like to go camera. She said, "We got home."
At the entrance at the temple, where you see the golden gate there, right in front of the gate, they had the incense altar. And only the high priest could enter the inner part of the Holy of Holies once a year on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And when he went in, they tied a rope to his foot, because if something happens to him, also they also sewed, little golden bells to the hem of his garment. So when he walked, they could hear the bells ringing. If they wouldn't hear, if they stopped, again, hearing the bells, that means something happened to him. And therefore they could pull him up. By the way, we found one of these golden bells. It's in the museum right here.
Really? Here?
Yeah, we found it in the city of David.
Wow.
In the sewer. It's a little thing like this, very little brown thing.
Pomegranate seeds.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Wow.
So, okay. Come along this way. Yeah.
What is this?
What?
Like this part of it?
With the red roofing?
Yes.
That was the site or the place for the Sanhedrin, the Supreme Religious Court. Now, right here, from here, all this little thing, this is the city of David that we're going to visit tomorrow. That means when David and Solomon were alive in Jerusalem 3,000 years ago, all of this did not exist. This was the city of Jerusalem, right here. And then Solomon enlarged it and included the Temple Mount. Tomorrow, we're going to be standing on these steps next to the southern gates, the Huldah, the prophetess gate. The Kidron Valley, right down here. That's the meeting spot between the three valleys, Kidron, Tyropeon, and the Gehenna. By the way, 1 centimeter in the model, on the model, equals 2 meters in reality.
How long did it take them to construct this?
But 6 or 7 years in the 60s.
It's incredible.
You said 7
That's
years?
Siloam?
6, 7 years, what?
Pool of
Now,
Siloam?
That's the pool of Siloam, not this one down below here. The Gehenna Valley, the eastern slopes of Mount Zion, right here. Mount Zion is on top there.
The work that went into building that.
It's incredible.
It's probably all accurate to scale.
What's that large semicircular building there in the middle of?
Theater.
It's a theater? Okay.
Would you like to have lived during this time?
No?
No, this time's better for you.
Yeah. I'm perfectly satisfied with the 21st century. Because even if you're killed in a war, you got a bullet through your head or your chest and you're gone. Much better than feeling a sword going through your guts. Yeah. Okay, this way please.
The fortress of Antonia was not residential for the soldiers.
There was residential for the Roman soldiers stationed there, yes.
Could they fit an entire legion in that?
No, but they could. It's very big. But there was never entirely. The legion would be brought there in very special events like Passover and things. When you have too many people in town, they needed more soldiers to control. Okay. Now, right here, we are at the western end of the city. Remember, yesterday we left through a gate. This would be the Jaffa Gate of today. The three towers are the northern end. That's the citadel of Herod, and there was Herod Palace. In fact, Herod's Palace, this place called the Herod's Palace, nowadays is the Armenian quarter. In fact, when we came from the Western Wall, we climbed up the Jewish quarter over there and exited into Mount Zion, right? So this is the beginning of the Gehenna Valley running down south. Okay. Remember, this wall didn't exist, right? Now, you see the inner wall. The Turkish wall of today, the rampart of the city goes from there, straight down here, and cut due east. That means it's the Christian quarter and the Muslim quarter of today. Now, in the inner wall, you see the gate?
Yeah.
You see the gate?
Yeah.
This would be station number 7 of the Via Dolorosa. Remember how many times I told you that when we were there, now you're exiting the city. Remember I said that?
Yeah.
Because many people say it wouldn't have been the right place, you know, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, because it's within the city walls. They just not knowledgeable enough to know that this wall did not exist. And that's why they think it's within the walls. But if you look carefully at the gate, as if you know, at the left of the gate, you see this pile of rocks. Do you see that? That's the hill of the skull hill, the Golgotha, on which the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is built. In other words, we're looking at the center of the Christian quarter of our days. Okay? And we carry on this way to the north.
There it is there. He's fast. There it is. Golgotha.
Right here, you see this pile of rocks. This is the famous garden tomb in which you're going to celebrate Mass or take the communion tomorrow. Because according to the Church of England and General Gordon, when Jesus was arrested, they didn't walk with him west, they walked with him to the north. The judgment gate will be somewhere nearby the Damascus gate, and they walked with them north. This is the place where he was crucified and buried.
So where's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre
Over there in the north.
On those rocks.
In the west.
Okay.
It's over there.
Right there?
Yeah, and that's the garden.
Okay, Church of the
And he
Holy
trained in
Sepulchre
Jerusalem.
is there.
So,
And the garden
once again,
tomb.
the story
here.
of this model is fantastic. In 1948, an Israeli platoon conquered the hill on which the high rises. See this big, the tall building. A young man was killed. His father was a millionaire. He bought the hill. The best friend of that man was Professor Aviana of the Hebrew University. So this man asked him, what can I do to commemorate the memory of my son? The professor did not hesitate. He said, give me a piece of land on the hill you just bought, and I'll build the scale model of Jerusalem of 2,000 years ago as per the details of the famous
This is
Study. The man
the
says,
traditional site of Jesus'
So
death,
they
burial, and
completed it
resurrection.
in,
Golgotha.
I think, 66.
Outside of this
We
gate
used to
here.
visit it at the Holy Land Hotel. And then, about almost 15
This
years
is
ago, the man died.
believed
his
by
sons
many
and children were
Protestants
not interested. The grandchildren,
to be Golgotha, but
were grieving.
is not the
You know,
traditional
this
site
is so
which
many
we'll visit.
acres on top with the garden nearby.
place of the garden tomb.
real estate cost a fortune. So what they wanted to do is destroy the model and build a high-rise. The man who saved the situation was Mr. Snyder, who used to be the general director of the museum.
Hopefully we'll get more. When we go up there, it's like a view from the Mount of Olives 2,000 years ago, so we'll go up there and hopefully shoot some footage here in a moment.
They built, Mr. Chaney, he built the high-rise. And because of this high-rise, we almost lost the model. But our former Prime Minister did time. When he was the mayor, he accepted a bribe from this man, giving him the permission to go high. It's against the city law, city code. It was a shame. Prime Minister Olmert.
So this gate that Jesus would have came out into Golgotha is called which
The
gate?
Judgment Gate.
The Judgment Gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the gate leading to the cemetery. When you die, you're going to be judged by God.
Okay.
Okay.
What prime minister was that? Was that?
Okay.
Also the gate where Jesus took our judgment upon himself.
You can't walk this way, you gotta come around because we're going up the steps.
Alright, we're going up to a view from the Mount of Olives
Yeah.
of ancient Israel.
Yeah, so you can have coffee here. We're not coming back yet, but we'll come and match you up.
Incredible. So this is what Israel would have looked like 2,000 years ago from the viewpoint of the Mount of Olives, where Jesus often prayed. Good. Viewpoint.
This is a bamboo maze for children.
There's the Temple Mount there, center of the screen,
Children.
with the eastern gate facing us.